2024 will be the year that we release Empires of the Undergrowth. As the depths of winter close in around us, you should absolutely be doing things like playing Hibernation or Festive Spider, things that really get you in the mood for this freezing cold weather. This is silly. This is silly. I'm sweating. 24 degrees Celsius in here nearly. Yeah, I'm not doing the whole thing in this coat. That's daft. Welcome to Vlog 8, everyone. 2024 will indeed be the year that Empires of the Undergrowth launches fully. How far into 2024 remains to be seen. We'll talk about that in a bit. But first, we have Dan, our product marketing manager, who's going to talk about Ecosystem, Adapt, and Horticular, which are three of our other publishing projects in development. So over to you, Dan.
Hello, Dan here. First off, let's talk about Horticular. So, Robert has been hard at work implementing modding support into Horticular. Not only support for mods being created, but also uploaded to the Steam Workshop. So we can announce that Steam Workshop support will be included when Horticular launches. In fact, the first test mod is already here, with the Steam Workshop having a pink cursor that Robert did just as a test. And before launch, we hope to just put a few more different mods on there, just as an example of what the different types of things you can do will be. But obviously it's post-launch when the mods will hopefully take off and the community will just run with them, which we're hoping will be quite easy for people to do because Horticular is going to launch with a mod editor, which is going to allow for players to create anything from new plants, new creatures, even to whole new quest lines and story modes. Really, the sky is the limit with this. Moving on to Ecosystem, we recently put out a update on Steam, like a development update, explaining what Tom's plan is going forward to 1.0. And at the moment, we're envisioning that's going to be two updates. There's going to be an interim update, which is called the Behavior Update, followed by the Crustacean Update, which will be the 1.0 version of the game. So the goal with the Behavior Update is to give the creatures something to actually do with their lives, give them traits like wants and needs, and hopefully this will help differentiate species a little bit more. We kind of started this with the Combat Update. So in the Combat Update, creatures and species can fight amongst themselves, and then depending on how those fights turn out for them, that'll influence future generations and make them have different traits to help them be stronger, such as like a carapace or spikes, like abilities like that. And the Behavior Update will hopefully do similar things, but in a social element as well, give them just different things to do. And then, as I said, once this is out, the next update will be the Crustacean Update, which will have crustaceans in the game, and this will be the 1.0 launch of the game as well. And finally, for Adapt, Paul is hard at work working on the request system. The request system allows creatures within the game to ask the player for certain things, such as, go get me this bit of meat, go get me that food, go get me these rocks or sticks to build my nest. Basically like little quests. And fulfilling these requests will increase your relationship with said creatures. And this is the foundation of the kind of progression of Adapt, with other systems being built on top of this to allow for the player to earn more DNA points and unlock new parts to actually use in their future generations of their species. Also, just in time for the holiday season, we've added a little Christmas hat to the Adapt demo. Not only is it festive, it also offers you a boost to your cold protection too, so it's functional as well as stylish. That's it from me this time. Back to you, Mike.
Cheers, Dan. Go and join the Horticular YouTube channel. We can get its numbers up, can't we? We can do that. You're well capable of it. I'll leave it in your hands, we'll do it. So, on to the Empires of the Undergrowth stuff. So last month in November, I did an updated roadmap showing how we intend to get Empires of the Undergrowth up to version 1.0. I mused at the time when I wrote the newsletter that maybe that'll be the last one I've got to do. We'll see if that is actually the case. But going back to the title of the video, yes, we're almost entirely certain, barring tragic circumstances, that we will be releasing Empires of the Undergrowth fully in 2024. Again, how far into 2024 remains to be seen. I'm committed to updating these roadmaps once every 6 months. So do I think I'll end up doing another one? My gut is telling me I might, but if I do, it will be the last one, definitely. So there you go. 2024 will be the year of Formica Erepta. And we couldn't be more grateful to have you folks with us on this longer journey that has taken longer than it should have done. We're fully aware of that. But the ending is very much in sight now. When you see the marketing cycle for it properly starting up next year, you'll know that we've got a release date in mind, and I'll be just itching to tell you about it. But as is often the case, the guys will hold me back until the right moment. But that's fine, that's their job. My job is to be enthusiastic, their job is to make the game, and justify my enthusiasm. But we're very close to full payoff for that now. So join us for these last precious few months of Empires of the Undergrowth development. So for those of you who are not much of a fan of the newsletters, let's just go over the updated roadmap, see what we've got. So there's the update that's imminent with the new achievements and the new custom game maps. Unless something very weird happens over the next week, those two things will be coming together at the same time. We have some updates to New Year's Feast. It'll be getting some balance changes. Also going to be a few cosmetic changes to that map, so that'll be something to look forward to in the new year. We've got a bit of time scheduled at some point early in the new year as well for us to just spend a few days playing custom games. Pretty much all of our effort is put into fixing what exists, responding to feedback. Actually taking the time to play our game just for the fun of it is difficult. Obviously we play it a lot while we're developing it, but that's always with the eye of fixing things or making something new. But we think getting most of the team to do nothing but play that game mode for a solid few days will inform our decisions to get it to its final balance point. And we've got the long-awaited Tier 4 challenge mode there with the 6-spotted fishing spider, who's been waiting in the wings for well over a year now, but its time to shine will be arriving. The reason it hasn't come sooner is pretty much because John, Liam and Matt have been on a real roll recently with Tier 5 stuff, and they don't want to break that momentum. Momentum is an important concept, as we've found out. Fire ant bridging in custom games is something we absolutely intend to get in. It's a tricky one because it's going to be a fiddly one to get savable, so it's one that gets pushed back again for a similar reason as Tier 4 challenge mode. And then finally we've got this section that says this bit is longer than it looks. There's almost certainly going to be time for an extra level or two there, some extra custom game maps, and there's final release. There it is. It's weird to say, I had a sudden rush of nerves just then thinking about it. Wow, okay, there you go, that's the roadmap discussed. So I hope a few of you have been following along and seeing that Empires of the Undergrowth is currently in an optional beta. Currently we are testing a bunch of changes, the main features of which are 3 new custom game maps, which are Imprisoned and Straw Clutch, the 2 competition winners, and Sandspit. All 3 of those maps have been in testing for a while. You've got a little bit of time to join us still on that beta if you'd like to. Links are down in the description for how to join the Steam beta if you haven't already. After some testing with Straw Clutch in particular, we've added a novel map option for it, which moves the location of the nest entrances entirely as an optional feature. This is experimental right now, but I'm pretty confident it will make it to the final release. But it does really change the feel of the map. It goes from a very fast-paced, short form map to a much larger conflict. This has been based on some feedback, but we didn't want to alter the soul of the map. I think I personally prefer the closer, but it is now an option to have those different nest entrance locations if you so wish. Something we are testing out in the beta, which has had some very positive feedback, is down to Leafcutter balancing. Leafcutters have traditionally had a tough time in custom games because their economy involves an extra couple of steps compared to other species. But increasing Leafcutter's queen tiles to 19, I hope I got that number right, gives them more workers, miners, gives them more minims to do their economy work, and gives them more storage space right off the bat. This helps them really close the gap with the other colonies as far as economic speed goes, and the testing shows that it really helps and it makes them competitive. This is currently in testing, and you can join in that testing if you like. The signs are positive that this is a well-received change and is, I think, likely to make it into the game without much more tweaking, but we'll see. Something that was suggested to me by Dan, which I've been doing on the Discord, is a daily devlog. What this means is that at the end of generally 3 out of the 5 working days in a week, I look at the source control for Empires of the Undergrowth, which is software we use to look after all of the different versions of files that we have for the game, and I post up some stuff that I think people might be interested in following along. Obviously I can't post anything with spoilers, but it is always fun to use the word redacted when I'm making those posts, because I so rarely get to do so in real life. I don't work for any government agency, I think. So if you'd like to see those, come on over to the Discord, and they're up usually 3 times out of the week. For those of you who joined us over the past year and haven't experienced him yet, the Festive Spider is currently active. Press the gift that appears on the main menu to take you to his special level, where you'll be defending his Christmas gifts from hordes of creatures from ants to spiders to even ubers. This is a tower defense level that uses the hungry spider mechanics as well. It's all good fun, me voicing the spider again, always love to do that, but get your practice in for this level because soon there will be achievements available for it, in that update which is currently in the optional beta. And there you go, that's the final vlog of 2023. And what a year 2023 has been. It's been genuinely one of the most formative, finalising years for Empires of the Undergrowth. Most of the systems are ready to go for Tier 5, for full release. You've been along for this journey. It's as much of a labour of love for you guys as it is for us. Have a Merry Christmas, or whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate where you are. And a Happy New Year. We'll see you in the year of the Formica Erepta 2024 for full release and more. Have a great rest of your 2023. Goodbye, I'll see you next time. So we're pretty firm that we'll... Yes, we're almost entirely... Are 3 new custom game maps, which are Imprisoned. Links are down in the description for how to join the Stain Beta and Horticular. But first, okay, stopping.